Hello, viewers. Okay, this is going to be one of those readings where you're going to have to hang with me a little bit because I have a lot of notes to go through. Um, I've been thinking about Jamal Khashoggi again and wondering if anything's ever going to happen to bring to light more about his murder. And looking at his uncle, Adnan Khashoggi, and his ties that intercept with Trump, the Saudi royals, Manafort, even Ferdinand Marcos and Imelda Marcos, and Manafort had ties to the Marcos family also. So I want to kind of go through some notes, and then I want to do some readings on what did Jamal know about his uncle, about things that were going on in the Saudi government. First of all, I'm just going to pause for 1 second because I want to check my volume control here. Okay, volume looks good. Adnan Khashoggi, who was Jamal Khashoggi's uncle, he was a Saudi businessman. He passed away in June of 2017, so he passed away a year before Jamal was murdered. He was worth $4 billion in the 1980s, and then by 1990, he was down to being worth only about $8 million. He had extreme debt by the time he died. He was involved, he was the middleman involved in the Iran-Contra affair, working with Oliver North and the Saudis and selling the arms. He got his start working with the Saudis. His father was the doctor to the first Saudi king back in the 1930s when the Saudi Arabia became a country on its own, a state of its own. So he has deep, deep ties to the royal family. He's the one who sold Trump his yacht Nabila back in the 1980s. He sold it to Trump for $29 million. Trump turned around and sold it to another Saudi for $20 million, which was kind of strange. Like, why would you sell it at a loss? And it was a famous yacht. It was the world's largest yacht at the time. It was used in a James Bond film. It was like, everybody knew about this yacht. Manafort helped Trump to get permission from the Army Corps of Engineers to dredge at the marina in New Jersey to be able to dock this yacht because it was so big. What should have taken 3 years to get accomplished to clear the Army Corps of Engineers was done in a matter of months through Manafort. So let's see. Adnan Khashoggi's sister was married to Mohammed Al Fayed, who was the mother of she was the mother of Dodi Fayed. So Jamal Khashoggi's aunt was the mother of Dodi Al Fayed, who died with Princess Diana. So kind of a strange thing also. Adnan Khashoggi, he worked with a lot of U.S. companies. Lockheed at the time, which is now Lockheed Martin, was one of the big ones, going all the way back to the 1960s and 70s. He basically started the whole arms sales with Nixon's help. And we know how Roger Stone feels about Nixon, right? There's all this interlinking stuff. Roger Stone and Manafort had a lobbying firm together, loved Nixon. Nixon got all these arms sales going to the Saudi government, and Adnan Khashoggi, that's how he made his billions. So he was an arms dealer broker. He was indicted for fraud in 1989. And again, he was indicted for security frauds in 2008, and it seems like both of those cases were settled out of court somehow. But he was involved. He was entangled with the Marcoses, Ferdinand and Imelda Marcos, when they were stealing money from the Philippines, from their government, and buying a lot of stuff, including condos in New York. And she was known for her zillions of pairs of shoes she had. Manafort lobbied for Ferdinand Marcos in the U.S. and Adnan Khashoggi was caught up because he tried to help them hide money that they had stolen from the government. He was caught up in that. So there's a lot of really strange things going on with that. Adnan he became too visible. He was known for his elaborate parties. He would have celebrities at. He had many, many properties all over the world. He had 3 yachts at one time, and he had to start selling off everything. He had huge gambling debts. He would go to Monte Carlo and gamble. He would lose lots of money and had huge gambling debts. Well, he became too visible, and the Saudis didn't like using him anymore for arms deals and things because he was too visible. But I think it's interesting, when Trump came in, one of the first things he did after meeting with the Prince of Saudi Arabia was rescinded Obama's things where he stopped selling arms to the Saudis in 2012. Trump turns around and starts selling arms to the Saudis again. And then Adnan passes away in 2017, and then Jamal is killed off in 2018. I just want to take a look at and see, are there any coincidences here? Because my gut tells me no. So, hope you hung with me through all that. I want to take a look at, first of all, is Trump and or Kushner profiting off arms sales to the Saudis? We have the success and victory card on the bottom. Doesn't bode well, does it? Well, they definitely were working as messengers for the Saudis. Breaking hearts. Yeah, it kind of feels like America's broken heart there. Judgment from the people down in the foundation, causing huge anxiety for Trump and Kushner. But they're charging forward blindly. They're just charging forward with it. Here we have feels like Trump as the father figure, father-in-law. Money that's been paid. Sorry, there's a little glare. I'm going to lift it up. My lighting's not too good tonight. Money that was given, new source of income. Some battles going on with it, and some delays. So, yeah, I would say they were taking money. Now, because there's battles and delays, I feel like maybe they can't get to their money because, yeah, there were agreements made. With Trump, and there are a lot of secrets around this. I feel like there's battles because Trump can't get to his money if it's in offshore accounts, which is how Adnan, Khashoggi, and the Saudis always did arms deals and stuff. There were a lot of offshore things that went on with the Iran-Contra affair. There were offshore things. So I would say Trump can't get to his money, or Kushner, and it looks like it's more Trump than Kushner that's profiting off of it. They know their offshore accounts are being watched. So I want to look at the relationship of Adnan Khashoggi and Trump, because they go way back. Was there a falling out, or, you know, Trump, his Trump Tower condo, he modeled after Adnan's condo that he had visited many times, and Adnan had bought like multiple condos and knocked out walls and made it one giant, had the, like one of the largest living rooms in Manhattan and stuff. Trump modeled his condo in Trump Towers after Adnan's. So we know they visited. What was their relationship like? How did Trump view Adnan Khashoggi? Well, it looks like it was bright and sunny for them. Well, it looks like Trump looked to him overseas to help him get to higher ground. There is, in the past, he looked at him as a new money source. There's heartache in the foundation. Adnan was also known for having very elaborate parties on his yachts and stuff, bringing people together. He would hire prostitutes and stuff. Some of them were for business dealings to get people to do what he wanted, and he would take the yacht out into international waters when deals were being signed, so that no one could say they were violating any country's deals. It looks to me like this is crowning the reading the celebration card. It looks to me like Trump probably participated in a lot of these parties. And they definitely worked together on their dealings overseas. Chained to the devil, though, and change of fortune. They probably both had addictions, is what I'm feeling from that. They probably both, whether sexual or snorting or whatever. Yeah, Trump walked away from him. He felt the risk of going to jail because of his connections with him. So, some sort of falling out. Maybe thinking Khashoggi was getting too dangerous to hang around with and party with anymore. So, let's ask, what did Jamal Khashoggi know about Trump's relationship with Adnan? Gosh, I keep mispronouncing his name. Adnan. What did Jamal know about Trump's relationship with Jamal's uncle? He knew they partied together. He knew they worked together. So in the center, I have the King of Pentacles and falling off the tower. I feel like this is Trump and Adnan falling out and things falling apart. But covering them, they did work together. He knew they worked together. But he knew that there was something volatile with that. In the foundation, Four of Swords, they were trying to get to calmer waters. He knew that Trump had walked away from him in the past and left Adnan out in the cold. and it does feel like it's over dark money. So Jamal was feeling victorious because he knew this information. Feels like he was, looking at all the smoke screens that were up about it. Also, a woman of money involved. And then I feel like this is Jamal's death. Jamal's death. Yeah, it was like end of a cycle, because he was going to bring out the gifts of money and the sources of income there, even with the Saudis, and the judgment card was coming down. I feel like the judgment card was coming down from Saudis, from the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, was smacking down on him with judgment, and then his death. So I would say Jamal was definitely aware of it. The relationship between Trump and Khashoggi. I want to take a look at, what does Michael Cohen know about Trump's relationship with Adnan Khashoggi, with the uncle. He knows that there was an offer he was made that he didn't want to take. Yeah, here's Michael Cohen getting ready to go into jail, getting ready to go in March, and he feels like there was a decision that was made that Trump, he knows he had to separate from Adnan, that he had retreated from him for a reason. It's like, look at this, like he needed to separate in the foundation, retreat. In the past, walking away from, crowning the reading, trying to get to calmer waters, moving away from. He totally knew something about it. I think he knows that may be the cause of Jamal's death also. He knows that Trump had to walk away from Adnan because Trump was getting involved with the Russian oligarchs and Putin. And they were, trying to get into Afghanistan and stir up crap again. Here's Trump in the future, who's very burdened, as well as the Republican Party and the sword of truth. So it feels like, and Michael Cohen is a star witness in this. It feels like Michael Cohen is going to give a new perspective on this. So it feels like he is communicating to Mueller's team about this somehow. I want to see. Well, we know Manafort's not telling the truth, so I was going to look at Manafort and what he knew. I think he's totally implicated in here. There's just so many. I did a reading a few weeks ago on the Malaysian Prime Minister that's got kicked out, Najib Razak. It's like Malaysia, the Philippines, the Saudis, the Russians, Trump, Manafort, Cohen, Kushner. It's just the biggest freaking mess. But I do feel like there are investigations going on about it, and that the sword of truth is going to come out. So I think those kind of details, whether by Mueller or the FBI or whoever's investigating Jamal Khashoggi's death, um, you know, his uncle was 81, almost 82 when he died in London. He was in London when he died, supposedly of a heart attack, but God knows, maybe the Saudis or the Russians or somebody poisoned him. I don't know. We'll see what happens, guys. I thought you'd find it interesting. A little bit of a long video. Hope you hung till the end. If you liked it, click like. If you didn't, move along. I'll try to do a shorter video. Thanks for watching. Bye.